half-time, and then got 2 more goals in the second half. So a 4-0 victory at Melilla. A good performance, a good win, and plenty of goals as well, which was important. Sergio Ramos, the captain, travelled to Melilla, wanted to be out on the pitch there, led the side in the first half. First goal for Real Madrid in that victory over Melilla in the Copa del Rey. Played really well as well, was a constant threat down that right-hand side. So there were lots and lots of positives to take from that Copa del Rey game against Melilla, and hopefully we can build some momentum now and take that confidence into the game against Valladolid on Saturday.
Certainly lots of positives to take away from that game, and with his goal against Melilla, Karim Benzema has now scored in all 4 competitions this season. He's netted 199 goals in total in his time at Real Madrid, 7 this season, and he scored against Valladolid the last time they visited the Santiago Bernabeu back in 2014, and in the same game Gareth Bale scored a perfect hat-trick, a 4-0 victory for Real Madrid.
Yeah, I remember that game quite well. As you said, 4-0 win for Real Madrid. Gareth Bale, I think it was his first hat-trick for Real Madrid, so yeah, he'll certainly remember that game, and he'll be up for the visit of Valladolid. Of course, Gareth Bale was one of the players who stayed behind in the Spanish capital midweek, just resting up, making sure that they were fully ready for this league game, of course. But yeah, Karim Benzema getting on the score sheet and continuing to score goals, centre-forward goals. He's been scoring goals in and around the penalty area, in and around the 6-yard area on Tuesday night, or it was a Wednesday night rather. It was another goal from close range from Karim Benzema after good work from Alvaro Odriozola and Lucas Vazquez down the right-hand side. So yeah, Karim Benzema popping up in the right place at the right time to score yet another goal, as you said, scoring in all the competitions that Real Madrid have played in so far, and scoring the first goal for Real Madrid under Santiago Solari, and making sure that the manager's tenure getting off to the best possible start.
A busy week for the Whites, with 3 games in 3 different competitions, because 3 days after the game against Valladolid they'll be travelling to the Czech Republic to face Victoria Pilsen in their 4th Champions League group stage game. They defeated them 2-1 at the Bernabeu last month, with Benzema again on the score sheet as well as Marcelo, and the players said after that game they're feeling very confident they can finish top of their group.
Well, you spoke to Toni Kroos after the game and you said, you know, are you feeling confident? And he did point out that, well, it's not that important finishing top of the group. It's not necessarily the most important thing, because the last 2 seasons Real Madrid have finished 2nd in their group, and as Toni Kroos said, we know how it ended, with Real Madrid lifting the trophy. The most important thing is obviously to qualify, make sure you're in the last 16, and then from there it's a knockout competition and anything can happen. Real Madrid know that they're going to have to face the best sides in Europe if they want to win the Champions League for a 4th successive time. So whether it's in the last 16 or whether it's in the semi-finals, it's almost certainly going to happen. But yes, in theory it is better to finish top of the group than 2nd, although doesn't always work out like that. And obviously Real Madrid will be trying to finish top. They'll be trying to assure themselves a place in the last 16, and they are well placed to do so, of course, with 6 points out of 9. Roma also on 6 points, so it's going to be an interesting game in the Italian capital in the penultimate round of fixtures for Real Madrid. But the job is to go to Victoria Pilsen and pick up another victory. The Czech champions showed that they are capable of causing Real Madrid 1 or 2 problems at the Bernabeu, but Real Madrid had too much firepower. They were too strong in the final third, and ultimately too good for the Czech champions when they met at the Bernabeu. But it's going to be different when they travel to the Czech Republic, so Real Madrid will have to focus on that. But before that, of course, it's the visit of Valladolid on Saturday, and domestic matters, and Real Madrid will be very, very keen to get back to winning ways in La Liga.
And Santiago Solari's first La Liga game in charge of the first team. And he mentioned after the Copa del Rey game that it's not much different to managing Real Madrid Castilla. He's got a huge amount of coaching experience. He started coaching for the Real Madrid Academy back in the 2013-14 season for the under-15s. So he knows how it's done. Certainly does. I mean, went from under-15s to under-16s to under-18s, and then Real Madrid Castilla, 5.5 years experience in the Real Madrid coaching academy. He said the manager's dugout is the manager's dugout. It's the same, really. The feelings don't change, the nerves don't change. It's kind of similar, although
being Real Madrid manager of the biggest club in the world. There's more to it, shall we say, than managing a Real Madrid youth team. But yeah, he seemed pretty relaxed and prepared for this his tenure here as Real Madrid manager. It is different, of course. It is a La Liga game. There are 3 points up for grabs, 3 very, very important points for Real Madrid, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of formation he uses as well. Santiago Solari with Real Madrid Castilla, he often opts for a 4-2-3-1 formation, which is something slightly akin to what we saw on Wednesday night with Marcos Llorente and Dani Ceballos being the two holding midfielders, if you like. Will we see that on Saturday afternoon against Valladolid? Will it be more a 4-3-3? Who will be the midfielders? Will it be Casemiro, Kroos and Modric? Will there be a change in there? So lots of options for Santiago Solari, who, has to be said, it must be an absolute delight for a manager to come in and work with these world-class players. Obviously, he has been in and around the Real Madrid Youth Academy, so he's been working with the best young players around, but now to move up to the first team and to be involved, it must be a joy for any coach to have such quality players at his disposal. And of course, like other Real Madrid managers before him who have come through the Youth Academy and have previously managed in the Real Madrid Youth Academy, he will know very well the young players at his disposal. On Wednesday evening, he gave a debut to Javi Sanchez, the captain of Real Madrid Castilla, in the heart of defence, who partnered Sergio Ramos and then Nacho in the second half and did very well. Of course, Vinicius Junior, with his first start for the Real Madrid first team, has been working a lot with Solari and Castilla throughout the season. It was a really impressive and exciting performance from Vinicius Junior. He is only 18, he just turned 18 in July as well, so we mustn't get too carried away, but we're allowed to get excited about a player like Vinicius Junior. He is an incredibly talented player. As Solari said, though, after the game in Melilla, you need more than just talent, and he is young, and a lot of the things that you need to be a great player come with time, so we need to give him time, and hopefully he will continue to build on the incredibly impressive performance that he showed in Melilla.
First start for Vinicius Junior and first official assist for Marco Asensio, although it was very similar to the assist we saw during pre-season against Juventus, also for Marco Asensio.
He was very close to his first goal as well. It crashed a thunderous shot against the crossbar, and then for the third goal, he was scrambling to try and get the ball over the line, and it was Alvaro Odriozola who ran in and thrashed it in from about 6 inches out, but that was very close to being Vinicius Junior's first goal. He will score his first goal sooner rather than later for Vinicius Junior. As we know, he is an exceptional player and an exceptional talent. As we see Santiago Solari there, of course, former Real Madrid player, as we said. He has been in and around the youth academy for the last 5.5 years, training the various different youth teams. But as a player, he was here for 5 years. Talented left winger. The Argentine won 2 league titles with Real Madrid, won the Champions League as well back in 2002. So he has been a player at the very, very highest level. He knows what is required to triumph, to succeed and to win trophies, and now he's trying to put that know-how into practice as Real Madrid first team coach, of course with Castilla for the last 2 seasons, and did good work with them, did good work with the under-18s before that as well. So he is an experienced manager in terms of the world of football and high-level football as well. As we said, an excellent player, and hopefully he will flourish into an excellent first-team coach as well.
And varying up the drills, as we can see here, one big rondo, one big piggy in the middle, as opposed to 2 circles which we normally see in these warm-ups. Well, the first 15 minutes will be open to the press. The rest will take place behind closed doors as tactics and final preparations are made for match day 11 of La Liga, the game against Valladolid. We are less than a third of the way into the league season. There's still a very long way to go. As we mentioned, the only home match in the month of November, and these players will be wanting to entertain the home fans on Saturday afternoon.
There are still 84 points left up for grabs in La Liga. There is an incredibly long way to go in the La Liga title race. There will be twists and turns, and we've seen this La Liga season has been incredibly competitive with 10 matches in, but there have been some extremely unexpected results on both sides of the table. You've had teams who are struggling at the bottom of the table beating teams right at the top. You've had unexpected teams setting the way, like Levante, like Valladolid, for example, who visit us at the weekend. They've had a much better start than they would have expected. They've been taking points off teams that they wouldn't necessarily have been expecting to take points off, so it has been a really competitive start to the La Liga season. There will be, as we said, many more twists and turns, many more surprises, but as we said also, there is a long way to go, and there are many more matches left for Real Madrid to try and turn things around. It hasn't been going so well in La Liga so far, but if you're going to have a little wobble in La Liga, do it at the beginning. Do it at the beginning when you've got a lot of time left to change things up, to change momentum, to try and get yourself back into the title race. And Real Madrid have lots of time to do so.
And they've been saying that there's always positive to take away from negative situations. Sometimes you learn more from defeats than you do from victories.
Well, it's always nice to win, but as you said, you have to try and put a positive spin on things, and there are always things you can take from every situation, and you have to learn from the mistakes. It's not just in football, in life as well. You have to learn from the mistakes and not keep making them. So you have to make sure that if negative things have happened, some good can come from that, and that good being that you don't make the same mistakes again. So that's what Real Madrid will be trying to do at the weekend against Valladolid. Of course, we've had some frustrating results at home. Of course, you remember the defeat to Levante in the last league game at the Bernabeu was not an expected result, and it was not necessarily a fair result as well, with the amount of chances that Real Madrid had. You do also need a little bit of luck, which hasn't been going Real Madrid's way. Any successful team needs the rub of the green, which hasn't gone Real Madrid's way so far, but that will change. That always change, and that can help change the dynamic of the team as well. A lot of this is mental. If you can get into a good winning mentality, a good run, then results will come, and winning breeds winning and breeds confidence, and Real Madrid need that. They've had a win in midweek against Melilla, who are only a Segunda B side, the third tier of Spanish football, but they will be able to take positives from that game. Players who didn't necessarily have as many minutes as they would have liked so far this season came in and did really well. The likes of Odriozola, Marcos Llorente, Javi Sanchez making his debut. So lots of positives to take from that game, and to take into this match against Valladolid at the weekend, which won't be easy. We know it won't be easy. Valladolid have been extremely good this season. They've been really, really strong defensively as well. They've kept clean sheets in 4 of their 5 matches away from home, which is an extraordinary record. They've got the best defensive record on the road of any team. So it's going to be tough, but it should be a good match on Saturday afternoon.
And that's what we have time for. Thank you for joining us, Madridistas. We'll see you next time. It's adios.